purpose of my programs to youth in Guyana. I want to explain this, and I explain this every time I get the opportunity to talk to young people, that whenever you are going to embrace a discipline, there is a particular aspect of it that is important to your future development. Because, I say this without apology to anybody, because of the fact that I was approached by some young man who said he wanted my brain when I was at the park, I am sure that he has a brain, that he has the capacity. After listening to a 75-year-old man and picking up his experience, when you're 17 years of age, you can go further. Therefore, I expect all of you to pass me. But then the challenge is this. And because my time is very, very short, I want to be very brief but very objective. Anytime you embark on a program to educate yourself in any discipline, I want you to remember this. The first thing you do is learn the language of the skill. You will remember me saying that to you, and I want to emphasize this because I want to explain it a little further and tell you why I said that. And the reason why I said it is because whenever you embark on any project, particularly when you want to put knowledge into your system, because the knowledge you put in is not to be hanging on a wall to say I have a certificate and I've been to Kuru. The knowledge I put in must be interpreted and must manifest itself in your doings. So you must practice what you learn. And that practice must be to the benefit of your life. Therefore, if you learn the language of the skill, after you've left my class, you can continue to develop beyond what you see in me. And further that you definitely expect. I would like to see you pass me like a standing still. Because you're picking up my 58 years of experience at 15 years of age. When you add that to what you have, what God has given you, you're supposed to pass me like a standing still. This is what I want to see of you. And therefore, if you learn the language of the skill, you can read. You can pattern your life over every person in this world because of the language barrier. You learn the language, you know the skill. Because you can then read and further your knowledge and education beyond what you were taught. This is what I want you to do. I don't want you to take what I give you and say, this is good and this is all there is to it. That's the beginning. That's the first step to a journey in your life. And the journey of your life does not end here. You don't know, I don't know where it will end. But regardless of what position you take, whatever discipline you embrace, you must be in a position once to know the language of skill to continue to develop on your own. Not with an instructor, but with your own knowledge and experience based on the language you speak. Now I give you a reference. If you go there and somebody in Dutch greeted you, you would wonder, I wonder what he's saying. But if you talk to in English, you will respond. Why? Because you can interpret what you see, because language is not only spoken words, but also written words. The language you speak is the expression of your thoughts in words. Therefore, if you know the language and you read, you can interpret what you read and then practice what you have learned. This is my message to you today. And because my time is very short, I don't want to go beyond that just now, because I feel this is the most important aspect of your total ability to learn and my ability to teach. I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
On behalf of the Board of Industrial Training, it's indeed my greatest pleasure to express our appreciation and thanks to our partners, the Kuru Cooperative Training Center and the Presidential Office for Youth Empowerment for collaborating with us in the execution of this special purpose 3 months training program for heavy equipment operators drawn from, as I understand it, 5 participating administrative regions across Guyana. I've been told also a few minutes ago that amongst us are those individuals who have sought a second chance in life, having been pardoned by the President recently for some type of misdemeanor or others. This program has its genesis way back in 2013, when we were first requested by the Ghana Sugar Corporation to address their emerging critical attrition needs, which resulted from the exodus of their equipment operators to the lucrative gold mining sector. Since then, the program gained traction and quickly assumed the status as the premier #1 skill development activity among the other skill sets we are conducting within the National Program for Youth Empowerment, NTPYE, of the Board of Industrial Training. So that in 2014-2015, we trained some 252 persons, all of whom, I'm pleased to say, are now fully employed. We plan to train another 135 this year, 2016, and hopefully double that to 300 for 2017. I should mention also that our initiative to deal with the issues that are affecting the various sectors, we are currently in the process of training another 30 youths in the Madia Township that would obviously make an impact on that township's response to the skills needs of the region, which, as you know, is a mining community and also an agricultural community. We are pleased to report also that this skill development program utilizes what we call in the training environment competency-based education training methodology. Big terms, simply means, as my colleague said just now, training by doing. In other words, you're doing what you are being trained in, and so by the time you finish the training, you can do exactly what you were told to do during that period. Hence, I suppose we'll see what you'll be able to accomplish when we go around the campus to look at your work program during this period of your training. As a consequence, the program has had a positive impact in minimizing that stigma associated with technical and vocational education, in that the empowerment phenomenon, the empowerment aspect of it, has in fact been a pull factor, pulling youths from vulnerable groups, as I mentioned earlier, and school dropouts, and those from disadvantaged communities in the forefront, seeking opportunities to be trained as heavy equipment operators. So that for some of the other programs, you have to go look for people. For this particular program, people are coming to us. It's a pull factor, because, as I said earlier, they're empowered during the training program and they have jobs immediately thereafter. Additionally, it has provided for high-paying jobs in critical sectors of the economy, such as Minister will tell you when he comes, public infrastructure, roads, bridges, drain and irrigation, mining and quarrying, forestry, agriculture, housing, you can name it. Heavy equipment operators are required in all these areas. In that context, I must emphasize that at the same time, the programs are positively impacting on the crime situation and crime prevention and poverty alleviation in terms of a tangible socioeconomic intervention. I mentioned the young fellows who might have been pardoned recently, who are now part of graduates and who will find jobs almost immediately following our occasion this afternoon, if not already. Now, as regards synergies and interagency linkages, we are more than happy to report that the regulatory and security agencies are significant beneficiaries also of this particular intervention. in that we have been conducting parallel programs, parallel training programs for the Guyana Police Force in order for them to build capacity in their ability to provide certification and licensing of the trainees in the operation and use of equipment. As you know, traditionally the police force was involved in licensing you to drive a motor car or a motor lorry. They now have the capability to also license you to operate heavy equipment. This obviously translates to proficiencies and relevant competencies of those officers in the police force to perform the role of competent assessors and verifiers in assessment and certification process I referred to earlier. But also in the critical essentials with respect to what my friend, your chief instructor will say, condition-based and preventive maintenance for the plant and equipment that you are being certified to operate. In fact, the statistics are showing that for the Guyana Police Force, we have so far trained 72 officers in Region 4 as assessors, another 10 in Region 7, and we shall soon be conducting similar training for these assessors and verifiers in Region 6 as well. In closing, it's the Board of Industrial Training intention to continue not only to pursue initiatives for heavy equipment operators, but also to pursue innovative interventions based on the current, and I mentioned before, training methodology, competency-based education, to intensify both the range and quantity of skill sets for other sexes as well. Those sectors, in my view, that has been identified by the current administration as the potential drivers of this economy in the short to medium term. These areas are, for just emphasis, agro-processing in terms of the value-added industries, focusing primarily on the plant and equipment that are used in these areas that will require to be operated and maintained. Timber and wood processing industries, mainly in the added value areas, so that the benches and the tables and this lectern you see could well be part of the process of the training of skills in those areas. And then we have information technology and communication technology, clean energy, which is the order of the day, oil and gas, which is crucial for our development, tourism and hospitality, and obviously maritime transportation and logistics. Finally, with these few remarks, because my friend Richard said I shouldn't be much longer than 5 minutes, and I hope I keep that time. Finally, with these few remarks, I want to thank you, the trainees, graduates, for successfully completing this program. And it's my fervent wish that you will utilize this glorious opportunity by displaying these exposures towards your own development, as well as the development of Guyana. And in that context, make us all proud of this intervention. Thank you very much.
Speaking on behalf of the Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment, Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, I would like to start off with two important definitions, which will form the foundation of what I intend to expand upon. Those two words are youth development and youth empowerment. According to the National Youth Policy of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, youth development may be defined as the advancement and the empowerment of youth in the political, social, cultural, and economic sphere, with the aims of placing them at the center of Guyana's development. And youth empowerment may be defined as the attitudinal, structural, and cultural process through which young people obtain the ability, the mechanisms, and power to influence and/or make and implement decisions in their own lives and in the life of the wider society. Both definitions depicted youths that are motivated and confident, not only to make positive decisions that will impact their own lives, but to also impact the development of their communities and the country at large. This high expectation of our youth was shattered when the Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment and the team visited countless communities and encountered a situation where our youths were not only unemployed, but they were, in majority of the cases, demotivated and timid. It is against this backdrop that the Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment Unit developed a number of programs that aim to assist in reducing youth unemployment. This approach was taken since it was recognized that there was a direct correlation between the issue of youth unemployment and the other ills affecting our youth. There are two current realities as it relates to youth employment in Guyana. Firstly, there is not sufficient jobs to cater for those seeking jobs. And secondly, in cases where there are the jobs, youth tend not to have the requisite skills to meet the current job market demand. Hence, there is a need for training and education to provide the skills to our youth to make them more employable so that they can meet the criteria for existing jobs, and in cases where the jobs do not exist, to create their own job by becoming entrepreneurs. This was the thinking that led to the provision of this and other training programs. This program is one amongst many, such as the agro-processing program, the leadership training program, the youth in music program, the financial literacy and small business program, among others that are aimed at making our youth employable. We have no doubt in our mind that to address the many challenges facing the youth, we need an interagency approach because youth issues are multi-sectoral in nature. It is against this backdrop that the direct instruction of President Granger to the Chairman of Board of Industrial Training and the Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment that we need to cooperate to empower young people, that this program was conceptualized and brought to summation. In similar vein, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure and other government and private sector agencies have a role to play in ensuring these youths are meaningfully utilized. PAYEU recognizes that there is a current market demand for trained operators in Guyana, specifically for the mining, agriculture, and construction industry. But numerous interested youth would not be able to take advantage of this opportunity since they did not have the required skill nor the resources to pay for the training due to their current economic status. It is against this backdrop that the unit collaborated with the Board of Industrial Training to provide this training free of charge. Today, we see 29 young men who were successful in completing the 3 months training in theory and practice of operating heavy-duty equipment, life skills development, etc. Give yourself a round of applause. All right. And as a result, they are more motivated, confident, because as you can see, most of the persons would have participated in the preparation for today's event. Some of you would have come up here and give remarks, introductions, etc. So it's evident that you're more confident and motivated. Because of all of this, I am grateful not only to the Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment Unit, Ministry of Education, Department of Culture, Youth and Sport, Board of Industrial Training, and every other person that made this possible today. Permit me to congratulate the participants and to thank all who have worked and cooperate to make this program a success as we continue to empower the youth of Guyana. Thank you.
Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Mr. Keith Scott. Chairman of the Board of Industrial Training, Mr. Clinton Williams, Ms. Aditi DeJesus, Senior Research Planning and Development Officer, special invitees, graduates, a pleasant good afternoon to all. This afternoon, I am particularly happy to be here at the closing ceremony of the Heavy Duty Equipment Training Program, at which another batch of young trainees, 27 of you in number, will receive certificates attesting to their successful completion of the program mentioned. Bravo, graduates. I am extremely delighted because we are witnessing yet another initiative aimed at training and empowering our young adults. You are no doubt aware of the tremendous role that the Board of Industrial Training is playing in offering a wide variety of training programs, leading to the acquisition and requisite skills and paving the way for our youths to move on and build careers in areas of great need in this, our beautiful country. I would like to focus this afternoon on this particular program, the Heavy Duty Equipment Training Program, which was run by the Ministry of Social Protection through the Board of Industrial Training and the Ministry of the Presidency Office of Youth Empowerment. This initiative had a dual purpose. In the light of the increased demand for skilled heavy-duty equipment operators and the scarcity or complete absence of trained operators within the various administrative regions. The intention was to provide opportunity for numerous young people to acquire skills that will make them employable in their respective regions, and thereafter to be attached to relevant ministries or transition to other areas to fulfill this need. As I mentioned earlier, we in the Ministry of Social Protection has been sensitive to the skills or training and education demand for our youths in the various industrial sectors, and in recognition of the need to equip them and provide employment opportunities. BIT, as it is called, has embarked on programs which are interspersed with practical content akin to incubation period, at the end of which youths are provided with a pathway which can lead to the ownership of their own business. In fact, this particular heavy-duty equipment program is part of a larger initiative, the National Training Program for Youth Empowerment, which aims to remove the stigma associated with lack of education, training, and skills, and in so doing, alleviate the problem of our unskilled youth and empower them as they undergo training, so that on completion of the program, they can immediately find their niche and become an integral part of the economic drive in our country. In fact, this program is not novel, for it began in 2013 at the request of Gaisuco, which lost the majority of its graduates to the then mining sector. However, through the BIT program, the numbers have increased once again significantly, and many other sectors, such as forestry and public infrastructure, have benefited from this expansion. To date, through the BIT program, 350 youths have been trained, and very soon, within a couple of days, we are going to extend this program to the community of Madia, where some 30 young persons will be trained and will acquire the requisite skill and expertise. No doubt, we must raise our hats to the foresight, not only of the Ministry of Social Protection, but also to the Youth Empowerment Unit, for its commitment to the development of our youth through the various programs which are affordable, which provide adequate practice time and exposure to quality training. For as you know, as our country strives for economic sustainability, it is imperative that standards are established, that we advocate for the training and educational upliftment of our youth, for they must be cognizant of the best practices required to achieve optimal success. I have elaborated quite a lot on the pivotal role that the Ministry of Social Protection through BIT is playing, and I want to engage for a moment those who have been recipients of this training, all the handsome young men sitting to my right. A closing ceremony marks an important period. It means that you have overcome the challenges of the training program and have successfully come to the end. Yes, and you will soon be rewarded with the certificates that will become a passport for your future development. This chapter is closed, but the new chapter with new hiccups and challenges is on the horizon. This will call for your dedication and commitment. I am sure that you would have benefited from the cross-regional interaction as you interface with each other from various regions. You would have also have acquired employable skills, which you will soon put into effect. And most importantly, you will be involved in the revolution. You will be part of the Green Revolution, which has as its vision the long-term well-being of the citizenry, the reduction of social inequalities, and the promotion of sustainable environmental practices. Yes, you too will soon be in the vanguard of this action. It was only last week that the Ministry of Social Protection, Ms. DeJesus, in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund, convened a high-level policy dialogue in an effort to address programming for the advancement of adolescents and youths. We in the government are well aware of the urgent task of addressing the issues of our youths in order to harness and utilize the potential that youth possesses. We all endorse the notion that our youth must be empowered at all levels. The National Training Program for Youth Empowerment program provides the avenue for such empowerment, for finding employment, but more importantly, for recourse for entrepreneurship. As I offer you graduates my congratulations and best wishes for your entry into the field of work, I want you to be the mouthpiece for your peers. Impress upon your friends and relatives and acquaintances the merits of what you have done and achieved. Guyana needs your skills to accelerate its economic drive. And you can encourage them to pursue the same heavy-duty equipment training program. Or you can inform them of the other programs offered by BIT and by the Youth Empowerment Unit. I call on you this afternoon to shake off the stigma of negativity, lack of education, absence of skills and expertise, unemployment of our youths, and to embrace empowerment through application to the National Training Program for Youth Empowerment. Let us seize the opportunity and develop ourselves socially and economically. In income-generating skills and other avenues, let us be proud beneficiaries of this great land of ours and make the necessary input to make it a greater land for future generations. The potential and richness of this nation lie in your excellent hands. So let us do what Rudolph asked us to do a few minutes ago, and that is to make your dream become a reality. I thank you.
The SKY program has been working towards ensuring we alleviate the scourge of criminal activity and youth delinquency in the country and violent activities. And we have been looking for young men who are willing to come on board the program. What we do, we deal with what we call at-risk youth, and we transform them through working along with coaches who work with the youth to ensure that they establish a life plan. And then after the life plan is established, they go forward and then work towards executing that life plan. We have had an opportunity not just to work with training institutions, but also places of employment. And as was mentioned previously, oftentimes we have a challenge where youth are looking for employment, but they're not adequately skilled. The BIT program came on board during last year. Well, we were working with the BIT program before, but formally we signed a document, a memorandum of understanding, and that drew us a little closer to working with the programs that they had and gave us a little bit of a nudge to ensure we got in our youths into training, and also with the presidential empowerment arm of the Ministry of the Presidency. And empowerment is a word that we use a lot in SKY, skills and knowledge for youth empowerment. And so we were happy that in alliance with the BIT program, we were able to have some youth on here. And we're confident to know that not only did they start, but they have completed. In fact, talking with one of the youths this afternoon, he said it was hard, but it was okay. So they were able to start and complete the program. And so, just very brief remarks to say that these youths have been transformed, and we always talk about the work readiness program. So now they have been transformed, they were ready to take on the next challenge. They have accepted that challenge, they've completed it, and now they're ready again to go into the world of work, skilled, certified, and ready to break those norms that the Minister herself spoke about. So I want to congratulate you all, and we're happy to know this program is not just for one time, but will continue, and the success will help with the success of the program that SKY has been promoting and other such programs for youth empowerment. Thank you.
Graduates, most of all, you are the reason why we're all here today. You are the ones who, when you leave here today, will be giving us the hope that we can say that we have not toiled in vain to help to show you the way. You who can demonstrate that nobody is ever totally bad. You who can tell us that those 4 persons who have received presidential pardons are today now the beacons and the examples that those coming after you will have. You are the ones today that we look forward to see the future. We are the ones who are going to depend upon you to be the future of Guyana. APNU AFC government 1 year ago made promises And among those promises were that we shall be looking after the youth. We who may have had the experience are here to guide you. That is why you may find big people who may be at the head at this moment of time. But once we can keep our word to you, and we can produce people like you today, tomorrow you are the people who will be the leaders for the new society that Guyana is fast on the way to becoming. Therefore, I congratulate you for your courage. I congratulate you for the ability to be able to stick to it. Mr. Sagan instructed you that discipline will take you forward. You can only succeed because you have the discipline. Yet today you've shown us that commitment that we expect of you, that desire to learn, to go forward is with you. And we know that Guyana therefore is in good hands. You already have demonstrated to us that you have the right attitude. We expect that attitude to go forward, to inspire those who will be coming after you. Therefore, do not forget that the commitment you have given today is for a lifetime. You will be going forward. We will have been gone. But please do not forget that you owe Guyana a duty to make sure that today I am proud of you. Tomorrow your children will be proud of you. Your dedication is impressive. You have strove and have striven for higher heights. I encourage you therefore to keep on striving, not to be at the rooftop level, but for you, the sky is the limit. Please keep going. Never forget that you have a future, and this country has a future. You are intertwined with that. Our future is not only heavy duty alone, but to use the heavy duty knowledge to have to build our country. Our country is going forward. Oil and gas beckons. But oil and gas alone will not take us there. What will take us there is our ability to produce those young people like you, who will have the knowledge, who will know how to transfer that knowledge of using heavy duty equipment, of using other skills that you will acquire as time goes by, who will be able to make sure that our society can use your skill to develop the oil and gas industry, so that we don't have to import skills from overseas, so that you will be the ones to take us forward. The future, therefore, for you is bright. The future for Guyana, through you, is bright. Therefore, I end by telling you, once again, I respect you, and congratulations, I wish you best.